thrilled with it because, I mean, I do things in my sweaters. Hello, how are you? Happy Twixtmas! It is a New Year's Eve. I hope that you are all well and you have managed to stay safe and cosy during this very, very unusual Christmas 2020. It is one that we will remember, hopefully, for some good reasons, as well as the infamous reason of pandemic. As for myself, I had a quiet Christmas. It wasn't too different to how it is normally. It's just me, my husband and the animals. The only difference is we did not make a trip down to see Lara, and we did not make a trip to see my in-laws, which probably would have been at Christmas time this year. Or if not, then I would have been down in Devon about now, because it was my lovely mother-in-law's birthday yesterday, and we always try and get down for Christmas or New Year or close between that time. But so we've stayed at home, but that's the theme of 2020. It's been quite quiet. I'm having a holiday from the day job, which I seem to manage to do about this time each year, at least take a few days off. And it's a really great time for me to refresh and recharge and look forward to all the things and make all the plans. And I know I'm not alone in this. I'm one of these people that go until you're absolutely shattered. You think, right, that's it, I need a holiday. And you take a few days, and within 2 days, I'm like, right, okay, what's the next project? So far, I have painted the front of the house, tidied the entire house, had a massive sale on the Project Bag website. And done loads of grown-up things, like started my tax return and opened a business bank account. Yeah, so it's definitely been normal in that sense for me in the Mills household. One big change that's happened is that the puppy is now probably a fully fledged dog, really, sort of 16 months old now, getting, well, about that, I think about 15 months. Anyway, he's not quite a year and a half. And he has fully grown into his doggy legs, found his speed, and we have been enjoying some very muddy but enjoyable walks over the Christmas period. It was actually quite nice to be part of the crew that goes, hello, Merry Christmas, on Christmas Day as you are out walking your pooch while everybody else is still in their PJs tucking into Bucks Fizz and cooked breakfast. And your cooked breakfast is just a thing of fantasy because the puppy needs a walk. We ended up having ours at lunchtime, but it was fine. It was fine. So anyway, let's get on with the show. I have some prizes to announce. First off, we have a prize for the Great Festive Cast-On Cowl. That will be appearing magically. The name of the winner will be appearing magically here. Well done. I am going to be sending you a mystery yarn bundle from the Project Bag Yarns to make something for yourself in the new year. Well done you. The Vanilla Along is continuing with Dr. Sockstagram podcast until probably the end of January. She's been about as specific as I usually am. So we're embracing this, and that is continuing in the Facebook group, the Project Bag Club. So do put your finished objects on there, and also use the hashtag Vanilla Along FO for entry via Instagram. Alice is handling all of those things. I take absolutely no responsibility for the actual running of it. I take full responsibility for shoving you all to go and take part in it and cast on all the things. That's my cup of tea. Okay, other CALs are not happening / being suspended until 2021. There has been talk for some months now about the Cozy Creature Comforts CAL, which I kind of started and then immediately fell off the bandwagon with, and so have given up on, and that will be revived later in the year. So why don't we get on to finished objects? The first one, as you can see, I have finished my Weekender sweater. Hooray! Thank you very much. I'm very proud. Yeah, this has been a bit of a labour of love. I knew it was a really quick knit because it's Aran weight or worsted weight if you're in the US, and it's reverse stocking stitch, but it's knit back to front, so it's just knit in the round, which is lovely. And then the sleeves are picked up and knit in the round. Super simple. Why is it taking me so long? Don't know. I get to a point where there's a change and I just stop. So I knit the body and I was ready to separate for the front and back and I just didn't do it. It's not complicated. I just hit that kind of next step is and didn't go any further. Then when I'd done the front back, I was like, nah, and I didn't do the front. And then it was like, oh, I just need to do this bind off. I need to do the rib and it's the Kitchener stitch bind off and 3 into again. Didn't do that. Eventually did it about a month ago, 2 months ago, picked up for the sleeves, but I took 2 weeks to pick up for the sleeves. So I've knit both sleeves in about a week, to be fair. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it. I did lose at the yarn chicken. Now, I don't think this is anything to do with the pattern. I haven't weighed my jumper yet, so I'm not sure if this is 6 skeins or 7 skeins of the Croft Shetland Tweed Aran in Marister. All the information will be down there, not down here, down there. But I ran out with 2 rows of rib and the bind off on the second sleeve to go, and I thought, do I buy a whole nother skein, because I couldn't find another skein anywhere, so do I assume that I need another skein and haven't found it, and I actually need to buy one and pay £9.50 for 2 rows and a bit of rib, and then I thought, no, why am I doing this? Why am I stressing about this? I want this sweater finished. I want to wear it. And also, I don't like rib cuffs. They annoy me. I'm constantly doing this. I'm sure if we were to go back over the podcasts, which we're not going to, but if we were to, I could put a little montage of every time I've done this on the podcast. It's like a thing. So I thought, why am I even bothering about this? Rip it out. Make the pattern my own. Make it something I want to wear. So I ripped out the rib of this sleeve. And you can see it's like kind of not quite 3/4 length. It's almost bracelet length really. Well, it is if I unroll this. And I just left it as a stocking stitch or stockinette if you're in the US rolled cuff. And actually I love it because I have no desire to do this. I am warm enough. It's not itching my wrists. I am wearing this with just a little vest top underneath. It's definitely not merino, it is Shetland wool, but you know what, it is actually fine. I'm not getting red or itchy over my neck. It's very warm. It's warm but miraculously not sweaty, and I think that is to do with the fact it's natural fibres and therefore breathable and lovely. And yeah, I'm thrilled with it because, I mean, I do things in my sweaters. Contender for the title of today's episode, thanks. But I do things in my sweaters. One of those things is the washing up. There is nothing worse than soggy sweater cuffs. If you've been washing up and you rolled your sleeves up and they kind of slip down to your wrists again and you get all soggy and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, let me stand up and show you the Weekender boobs. Thanks, Caroline. Okay, so here it is. It is a boxy and glorious and just wonderful and cozy. And I could probably, have a party in this fairly socially distanced, I would expect. No one probably know. Not that I would plan to do that. It has a split hem. Sorry, you're now also seeing the Weekender butt, which is slightly longer at the back than at the front. If I had a complaint, it's kind of this weird bulging, puckering thing, but then I haven't blocked it, so can't complain. I love the faux seam detail, which is not quite lost in this. And then the sleeves are normal stocking stitch, so right way round, wrong way round. Yeah, so it's boxy and lovely and cozy, and I think, yep, you can. It's one of those that you can actually tuck your knees up into. It's got that much positive ease that you can feel nice and cozy and then stand up and function like a normal human being. Because normal human beings clearly don't tuck their knees into their sweaters. Anyway, my one thing, this was the reason I gave away my last weekender sweater. I knit it, it was my Edinburgh Yarn Festival 2019 sweater. I knit it in Hayfield's Aran with wool, something like that, in a mild lilac-y, purpley mauvey colour. It was lovely. The reason I gave it away, well, I thought there were two reasons, but there's one main reason. The reason I gave it away was because I didn't do it with 10 inches positive ease and it didn't fit me quite right. It kind of clung to all the wrong bits and wasn't the big cozy sweater I thought it would be. The second reason and the main reason is this neckline. Now, I was speaking to some friends about it, and one of my friends who's knit the Weekender said that actually they found the neckline to be quite loose and they had to re-Kitchener to bring it in a bit. But a lot of people have said, actually, no, they found it quite tight. And actually on the photographs on Andrea Mowry, I'm going to put a picture up here, it actually, you can see it's quite tight against her as well. It does come right across the base of your throat, just above your two knobby bits where your clavicles, collarbones, clavicles end. And oh God, do you know what? It feels like someone's got something unpleasant to my throat and it is bugging me. Having said that, I did manage to wear it for Sip and Stitch night last night without any problems other than getting too hot. So I don't know, the jury is out at the moment as to whether I will rip this out and do something slightly different to the neckline, or whether I will just leave it. I suppose it becomes one of those things, how long do you tug at it? How long do you spend fussing with your garment, and does it sort of draw attention to it or detract from it? It's a hard life being a dog. It's a hard life. Yeah, so that's finished object number one. Finished object number two, I have actually just messaged Kirsty of Grianaig Creations to find out if I can show you this. I think I can because it was a top secret test knit, which obviously the testing part was done in time because hello. But finishing the actual sock was not. It was not done in time for Christmas. Actually, it needed to be done just before Christmas so I could gift it. But the advantage of this is I now have it to show you. Now, because it was part of a Christmas Eve box with Knit Me Sane, I am pretty confident that I can now talk about this and show it without spoiling anything for anyone. But I have just dropped Kirsty a message. So if I hear back from her before uploading this and she goes, no, please don't, then basically there's just going to be some holding music and possibly me talking about things, the things blurred out, and goodness knows what will happen. But on the off chance that I am allowed to show you this, I'm going to show you the finished toe bean sock. Here it is. So you have not seen this before. This is the toe bean sock by Kirsty of Grianaig Creations. She is a fab designer and dyer and just all around a good egg, to quote another lovely friend of mine. And when I got the chance to test knit this, I leapt at it. I love her patterns and it's really simple and also beautiful. It uses a kind of old shale style lace just down one side of the foot. The other side is perfectly plain. So this would be the right foot, the right sock. Why am I only showing you one? Lost the left sock, cannot find it anywhere. I know it's done, it is finished. This is definitely the second sock. I do need to find it before Tuesday when it is going to its intended recipient, who is Roz, my lovely colleague. The reason she has been gifted hand knit socks for Christmas, because I don't make a habit of this because I can't guarantee finishing them, case in point, is because we can actually wear the same socks. I have little short wide duck feet and she has rather long elegant ballerina feet, and the feet that actually modelled the Lara's Legacy socks in the photos for the pattern, I'll see if I've got a picture, if I have I'll pop it up, are actually not my feet, they are Roz's feet. So I knit the Lara's Legacy socks for my tiny little size 3.5 duck feet. And Roz was able to wear them comfortably. So I thought, I could give them to Roz. And it works out really well for Roz as well, because the toe beans here, this is actually toe beans created by the lace. And it's like the toe beans off a pussycat's foot. Little toe beans going all the way down, which is just absolutely beautiful. And Roz is a big cat person. She has two rather beautiful cats, Marmaduke, who is an orange tomcat, and Periwinkle, who is just the most beautiful tortie in white. She's utterly, utterly beautiful. One of those with kind of, that looks like the cat colours have been thrown at her and just sort of landed. So she's a bit tortie, a bit ginger, a bit white, a bit black, a bit just gorgeous. So I thought she'd appreciate them. They are only little shorty socks, because I was trying to do this quickly as a test knit. I quite like my socks short. We've got a shock problem again here, haven't we? Like I had sparkly sprocks last time, and now we've got short, can't say it. Just above ankle length socks. So I hope she likes them. I've knit this in my peach Melba colourway, which was a project bag. It was a one-off actually. I didn't dye much of this, I was experimenting. But it's a kind of buttery cream, vanilla ice cream sort of look with flashes of peachy pink, creating the peach and Melba colourway. I've got news about this coming up soon, so I will share that with you. Yeah, so I gave it to her because I normally do a 60 stitch cast on. Sorry, I appear to have woven my hair. God, and it really shows up. Can you see? Can you see that? I don't know if it will focus. Gemma, focus please. Focus. What am I doing? I don't know if it will focus. But if it will, there is a strand of my hair that is actually knitted into the sock. So I'm going to have to pull that out before I give it to her. Does anyone else have that problem? I think I'm going to have to start knitting with my hair tied back. A bit like if you were in food prep, you have to have your hair tied back for obvious reasons there. But anyway, 60 stitch calf on is no good for my calves anymore. I apparently have grown as a person, as I may have mentioned before on the podcast during lockdown. I have improved myself in many ways. One of them is outwards. And my calves are now cows. So this is fine. This is totally fine. I will just knit slightly bigger socks in future for myself. But Roz, who is also rather slender, will fit these beautifully. So, happy Christmas, Roz. But yeah, that's it for finished objects, which brings my total of finished objects for 2020 to 24, which has actually taken me rather by surprise. Whips, I have worked a little bit on my godchildren's Christmas Eve blankets, which obviously are not finished, are not going to be New Year's Eve blankets. They will be blankets for some point. But yeah, I am going to get them done. I'll show you what I've done so far. Ta-da! It is growing. I am 2/3 of the way through, almost. Whoops. The first blanket, and I think if I just sit and knit on this today while editing my next video, then I will have that done. So who knows, will I get it done for the end of 2020? I don't know. Will I make it 25 projects in 2020? I shall report back via Instagram or Facebook or something at some point. So that is it for creative content. On to project bag stuff, midnight diary stuff. I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has shopped my clearance sale. I said at the top of the episode, and this episode is titled The Last Ever Project Bag Podcast, which was possibly slightly clickbaity of me. But the reason being, the Project Bag podcast is retiring. This is episode 49. I'd hoped to get to episode 50, but obviously that wasn't to be. As you know, I have rebranded my business, my hand-dyed yarn company, from the Project Bag, because actually it was Project Bags originally, to the Midnight Diary. I have started advertising as that. There was an article in Knit Now magazine just before Christmas with my new name and talking about my rebrand. I have my new logo sorted. I have the yarn labels finally coming. And so it is actually 3 years to the day that I set up my project bag website. I set it up, bought all the domains on the 31st of December 2017, ready to make 2018 the year I launched my own independent business. Now they say in business that you take, I mean at the time they said, it takes about 3 years for you to find out if you've got an actual viable business it's worth carrying on with. Now, since then, that advice seems to have changed. It seems to be about 5 years. I'm at the 3-year mark and I am committing wholeheartedly to the Midnight Diary. It's, you know, look, people who've watched the podcast before will know already that there's been a change, there's been a shift. I have moved away from sewing. Turns out I really hate it. Absolutely hate it. Why would I do something I hate? What's the point? I'm my own boss, so why would I make myself do that? I don't know. So I moved away from sewing, and dyeing is really, really my passion. I kind of surprised myself by people liking what I put on yarn, which is great. And it makes me happy. It's my therapy. It's my calm down. It's my relaxation. It's my quiet moments late at night when everything else is finished, all the hustle and bustle is finished, and I can actually do something for me, and I love it. So it came sort of to that point where I was like, well, what am I doing here? Where am I going with this? And so I have made the decision to launch properly as the Midnight Diary. I'm renamed, rebranded, and it is hand-dyed yarns from Kent, which is really exciting. And yeah, so I am not renewing my project bag website. It's ending today. I think it may have ended already. It ends at some point on the 31st. It stops existing. The sale, clearance sale, I decided to just get rid of every skein of yarn I could that I had dyed as the project bag, and sort of that kind of in-between stage where I'm becoming the Midnight Diary and have a completely fresh start. I am having new bases, new colourways, new everything, and I'm really, really excited. So thank you to everyone who has shopped the sale. It's helped me clear the decks and get ready for my new start, and has also released some very important capital for me to be able to reinvest into my business, the Midnight Diary. I am going to be placing an order shortly with the mill for my new bases. There will be some will stay. There is one in particular that I'm particularly wedded to, and that is my Superwash Merino DK, which is just squishy and gorgeous and takes colour beautifully. And it only really sort of had its start this autumn, so this winter, so I'm not going to get rid of that entirely. But yeah, they're going to be new bases, etc. And I'm really, really excited. So that is why it's the last ever Project Bag podcast, because I've just thought, well, let's go for it. So this podcast will be being replaced. The channel is staying here. I'm not getting rid of the channel. I'm just rebranding it. And it's going to be the Midnight Diary podcast, or Tales from the Midnight Diary. I haven't quite decided yet. I have a blog series that I'm starting called Midnight Musings, which will appear on my new shiny website, which I am currently building. Now that is not going to launch on the 1st of January. This is actually my holiday, and I need it. I need this holiday. I need this annual leave. I need to rest, recharge, relax, because it gives me all the oomph and the energy and the excitement for what comes next. So yeah, that will be launching at some point, probably the end of January, but I'm not going to make any guarantees. There will be a holding page, so if you type in the Midnight Diary, that will come there. Instagram's having a refresh and a relook. The shopping function will be much easier to use as well, and the website will launch when I have stock ready to go in it. I'm not going to say too much now, because I have a habit, as you've probably noticed, of saying things and then either things change or they don't happen quite when I say they're going to happen, because life and because pandemic. You thought I wasn't going to do that this time, didn't you? Gotcha. But yeah, so I'm not going to say too much more. Other than that, I'm really super excited, and this podcast will come back. It'll be new, episode 1, probably Tales from a Midnight Diary. I don't know, why don't you, I'd love to know what you think a good name for it would be, if you just want to drop it down below. And yeah, there's going to be more designing, more yarns, lots of exciting things going on, and there'll be some brand new make-alongs as well for 2021. So yeah, that's the major thing, really. Very exciting. And other than that, Christmas, I was so blessed and so lucky. There are some things to be grateful for in 2020. Yeah, 2020. Almost forgot. One of which, not least of which, are my sip and stitch groups and my coffee morning. I started these using my Project Bag Zoom platform at the start of the pandemic to bring people together and to help people still meet and talk and not be completely isolated during isolation. And I have benefited hugely from this. I've made some fantastic friendships. And it's become something I really look forward to. We decided to carry it on after lockdown ended, and I'm going to be carrying those on for the foreseeable future. There's going to be a new platform. I'm obviously closing my Project Bag Zoom account, and I'm going to look into the best way of doing it. But yeah, if that's something you want to be a part of, then do let me know. Yeah, I'm just really grateful, and I've had the most amazing things sent to me. So like, for example, I'm going to show you, I'm going to have a fish around here because I hid them from the dog. I'm going to show this off now. I haven't told her I'm going to do this, so I'm probably going to be absolutely shot later. Here we are. Right. Oh, where's my one? Have you eaten it, Magnus? You haven't eaten it, have you? Okay, so let me share with you, I haven't told her I'm going to do this, so I hope it's all right. Sorry, Laura. My lovely friend Laura has started playing in the dye pots just for fun, and oh my goodness, it's brilliant. It has my hair on it because Gemma. But these are 2 skeins. Now, neither of these are me in a skein. She dyed Julia in a skein, Laura in a skein, and Gemma in a skein, and I have squirreled the Gemma in a skein off somewhere, and it has lost its sisters. But here we are, Julia in a skein, Sparkle Julia, and Laura in a skein, and they are just absolutely beautiful. So I was very, very grateful to receive that. I've been sent a puzzle from someone to do, with the simple request that I pass it on to someone else, which is fab. And also, people who know the Shaggy Horny Cow story from Perth, when I went in 2019 with my booth buddy, Jackie, she actually bought me a Magoo bag, which is just brilliant and will become one of my favourite bags, I am sure, going forward into the new year. Yeah, so that's that really. I don't know if there's anything else to say. I've probably forgotten lots of things, but just to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who's been a part of the Project Bag journey, who's supported me. Some of you have been here from day one. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed. Please don't unsubscribe, okay? Because it's not a new channel, it's just a new look, and it'll be a new video series. So please don't unsubscribe. Hit the bell, notification bell. I don't know when I'm going to be back with the Midnight Diary podcast. It will be at some point in January, but I need to get some ducks in a row first. I'm going to put some other couple of videos up in the meantime. I'm planning on doing a couple. But yeah, there's going to be new tutorials, new everything. And can you tell I'm excited? I am blathering at this point, and I'm going to kick myself and say, oh, I forgot to mention, hang on, I did. Okay, the battery is dying in the candle. You can just about seeing it flickering there, but I have the most beautiful crocheted bauble decoration from my lovely friend Linda, who is Linda's Yarn Therapy, and in the most beautiful blue. So that has gone proudly on my tree this year, and again I was looking at it sort of twinkling in the fairy lights and thinking, yeah, Midnight Diary, that's the way to go. I also want to talk about the Christmas Eve boxes. They all arrived safely, although one that went to Spain ended up rather battered, which is a real shame, but luckily everything inside was fine. And yeah, thank you so much. I can reveal the patterns from Anna Nikiforovich and Yarnesty now. Ta-da! Ta-da! And they are just gorgeous, and I couldn't be more delighted with them. It's also been super cool seeing photographs of people's yarn and packages arriving and people making the cupcakes already. which is just great. I'm really, really glad that you've enjoyed the box. There will be a Christmas Eve box next year. I'm hoping for some really cool collaborations. So yeah, there is a make along for this. The make along is starting, I believe, on New Year's Day, tomorrow, or it could be New Year's Eve. I'm not sure. I will check. I will put this down below and let you know. But yeah, I'll let you know all of that. But yeah, you can buy the cowl pattern and the shawl pattern separately now from Anna and Anna respectively. Please do make sure you are following them on Instagram, Facebook and all the usual places. I will put their contact information here and just down there. There was some hilarity with the American peppermint being sent to an American having bought in Tesco's in Kent. Right, so thank you very much for watching. Short and sweet this week, but I've got loads more to do, loads more to share, and I hope you have a very, very happy new year. Take care. See you in 2021. Bye.